Dead.
I'm Blade.
And I'm Walker.
And I'm Undead. And this is the first episode of the Unknown Armor Productions podcast, episode 001.
Yes.
So,
Now, for the record, probably should have started in the game, because I'm still doing a couple things.
Yeah, we
Well,
should have.
you know well, you know what?
So,
who cares?
main menu
So-
screen. What is up, my guys?
For the whole 0 people that are here right now, you get front row seats to the pre-upload, I guess, pre-video.
Yeah,
Pre-stuff.
Pre-shit, you know.
Okay, first off, do we want to do endless? Because endless is kind of hard after a little while, but it'll make for pretty much the entire thing.
Meh.
Okay, we'll stick with normal.
Yeah.
And we'll just randomize.
I mean, might as well.
Also, fucking
I'm
fast.
going to,
I'm just checking if our audio is good on my end.
You know what I hate? Whenever you log into something, you always have to say, I am not a robot. If I'm a fucking robot, why would I be trying to do this shit? If I was a robot, I'd be trying to fucking hack the government.
Undead, you are very loud on the podcast.
That's good.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh no, actually we're good. We're good. From what I'm hearing. Okay, yeah, it's because
Yeah.
you were the
It
only one
sounds-
talking.
It sounds good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
You
we should be good.
know, It's just a thing.
I'm gonna moderate
that's
it
good.
because why not? I'll
You know
moderate
what?
the podcast while
One thing I
doing
don't
it.
get. How do I go to second screen on the new PlayStation app?
Second screen.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Well, what you need is
Oh, I see it, I see it, I see
actually
it.
PlayStation 4 second screen is now a new app. It's a
Oh
whole
my god,
other app.
you're kidding me, right? You're
I'm
fucking
not
kidding
kidding.
me.
No.
That is so stupid.
No.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying it's a new app? Another
Yeah.
new app?
Oh my
Why?
god, PlayStation! Okay, hold up. I guess that's how we're gonna start the podcast. Okay, so I think PlayStation's just trying to shoot itself in the foot.
PlayStation sucks. Its UI needs to fix itself. I'm very passionate about this.
Yes, you are.
Like
I hate
really,
it so much.
I know you do.
it
and
really
I'm
does
right-
need to fix everything.
It's trying to shoot itself in the foot. I'm telling you.
The thing is, okay, the thing with YouTube right now, especially if you go to video and audio stuff, like if you want to go, like let's say that you want to go watch some YouTube or something on your PS4, you now have to go through a freaking other menu instead of just pressing down and then going there. It's just, it was so
I don't-
easy before.
And PlayStation's UI is just so slow. It's so difficult.
Oh my god. Especially whenever you hold down the PlayStation button to go to like music and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
It's just, it's horrible. It's like, why?
Okay, are we ready to go in game?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I don't know about you guys, but
Yep.
Well,
I'm
this will
ready.
just tell us into this anyway, so.
I'm ready. Alright, Blade, can you post the link to the Discord?
yeah, that's what I'm working on right now.
Alright. Ah, just shattered my knuckle.
Sounded great.
Oh, it felt amazing.
Yeah, I bet. Alright, and it is being posted to the Discord. Hooray!
Alright, time for the Discord.
Woo!
Alright, so now that
Fantastic.
we got everything out of the way, I guess we'll go in for the second round. Hello everybody, I'm Undead.
I'm Walker.
I'm Blade.
And I'm Undead.
And I'm
And I'm
Cancer.
Blade.
I am the mattress man.
No. No.
I know you hate that. I know you hate it, and that's why I do it. I do it just so you hate me. That's why I do it.
course.
I do it
That's
just
the
so you
reason I
hate me.
exist.
I do it just so you, just to
Oh
fucking
my
piss you
god, I hate Union. Because he just now messaged me. He was like, you streaming tonight? And I literally was, as soon as I posted to the Discord, and he's in the Discord, he should know. And I'm just like,
I don't
bro.
think he fucking checks the Discord.
I just now messaged him. I was like, Discord, check it now.
Oh my god, it's the
I hate
Tuda
that
bug.
food. Das Tuda. Welcome to the stream.
Oh my god.
She's saying, hey, my dudes. Saw, dude. I saw, dude.
How's it going?
Alright, so... Walker, you read Ready Player One, didn't you?
I did. I love that book.
Okay, so everyone I know who's actually seen the movie... Oh, Jesus!
Oh my god.
Everyone I know who's
Jesus
seen the movie,
Christ.
they said the movie is nothing like the book.
I would not be surprised. It doesn't look very much like the book at all.
That and the fact that they have
Like,
Tracer in it.
Well, they're just doing that for, like, you know, cameos, which, you know, fan service, stuff like that. I'm okay with that, especially because it adds a bit of realism to the movie. The fact that it puts in, like, actually, like, noticeable video game characters.
Yeah, but, you know, there's no Fortnite.
But I haven't seen the movie myself, but from the trailer, it looks very much like it looks like the only noticeable things from the book are the stacks, maybe the Sixers. I don't even know if they're the antagonists, and that's kind of it. Which is okay, because I don't know if the book itself will make a good movie, but I don't know. People have been liking it so far.
I haven't heard that much negativity about it, but it's also, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you hear about it, but you don't hear bad about it, you don't hear good about it.
Yeah, to be fair, I never heard anything bad about Suicide Squad until I watched it. And I personally enjoyed Suicide Squad up until the very end.
Yeah.
I just kind of hated how, like, Jared Leto portrayed the Joker.
No,
Like, I understood where he was going at with it, but I just I don't like that Joker.
I don't know, I think it helped me not being a huge comic book guy in general. I didn't really know how the Joker should act, so I was kind of like, okay, this Joker seems cool.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I never cared for DC, so, you know, Suicide Squad is one of those movies, it's like, you know, you watch it, you don't watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna care either way.
Well, a lot of people are pretty passionate about how bad it is, and looking over, like, the themes that didn't take place and how the ending went, I can definitely understand why people don't like it. It was disappointing how the movie just didn't stick with any specific theme throughout the entire movie. And that's kind of what makes a story, sticking with the theme.
Oh, definitely. And, you know,
this is a strong rule in movies, books, and video games.
You know, you see that a lot in video games now too. I mean, how
Exactly.
often? I mean, I think we're pretty avid gamers. I think we're, you know, not casual. I think we're pretty competitive and consistent in our, you know, in our type of gaming. But seeing the lack of story in something like an MMO, something that might not require, but depend heavily on its story to keep players involved.
Break time's over.
Seeing that fall apart, it's just kind of depressing, you know. Look at the older.
Well,
look at the older MMOs.
I think an issue comes with bad storytelling just in general in video games. A lot of the classic stories have been told, and when it comes to that, there's just not a lot of creativity that goes into the story of most video games. That's probably where the idea that single player games are dying around now. Because the reason you play a single player game is usually for its story, or at least for the experience it gives.
And another thing I think you and I talked about a while back was, you know, you play Fallout 4. Mind you, Fallout 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. You know, I absolutely love Fallout 4. But one thing that I came to realize was that, you know, Fallout 3, you're a son looking for your father. Fallout 4, you're a father looking for your son. The family aspect of the series in itself is a great aspect to follow up on because it's something everyone can relate to. But in the end, it becomes just the retelling of the same thing over and over again, and people get bored of it.
Well, that's very true. You got to respect the creators of Fallout for trying to stick with the family theme after 3, but you can't kind of overuse it the same way they did. Just kind of flipping the idea of it on its head doesn't make it anything new. And that's probably where my biggest issue with the Fallout 4 story comes from.
And, you know, the problem with the game wasn't just the story, it's also a lot of mechanics in the game that it's heavily focused on the settlement building system.
Come see me.
You expect more from a Fallout game.
Nicely done. If I were you, I'd stock up on grenades.
Another thing that I think,
I mean-
another thing I know you and I agreed on was that it's a good game, but a terrible Fallout game.
Yes, I always say that the game would be much better if it didn't hold the Fallout title with it.
You know, that's entirely understandable.
Because it wasn't by any means a bad game. It had tons of content, had good story for the most part, had fun followers. I actually did enjoy most of the followers that I existed with the game. It wasn't until the DLCs that it definitely looked like they started running out of ideas.
Must close the pod very soon.
Another thing that really got me was the DLCs themselves. You know, you'd expect the Fallout games to have more DLC, you know? I mean, you have one Signs-based DLC, one Raider-based DLC, you know? Then Fallout 4 comes along and it shakes the whole pattern.
Well, my issue with the Fallout DLC is that there was nothing really creative about it. Robots in Automaton.
Far Harbor was
Okay,
just Point Lookout retold.
Exactly, and then all the other DLCs were... Oh, Nuka World, though. Nuka World, you gotta hand it to Nuka World. It's pretty cool.
Nuka World had its creative moments, but was still heavily relied and still heavily focused on the settlement system. Mind you, I still enjoyed it, but it was something where it's a selective enjoy. It's something that you selectively enjoy.
Yeah, I never got to finish the DLC myself, but I really had to admire how that they actually made a point to try to change what went wrong in the main game and not Point Lookout. Nuka World.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like they made the attempts, and to a certain extent, it works.
Another thing that really caught me, so recently, well, this wasn't recent, but it's not too long ago, was the Road to Liberty team that have been developing a mod recreating Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 had to be stopped. And you know, I think that would be a mod really good for Bethesda. I think that would be a great thing for Bethesda. You know, it's rebuilt, it's basically, they're making a remaster of the game that they don't have to even do. Mind you, the reason it had to be shut down was because of copyright issues for voice content, which is entirely understandable, copyright reasons for games. But you also have to realize that it's a community project and that it being a mod, an open source product, there shouldn't be any copyright restrictions. That would have made Fallout 4 about 1,000 times better if you could let people see and compare it to what it originally was.
Ready to fight again.
Copyright is certainly a very limiting factor on the creative process in creating arts such as video games and movies and the books, as we keep talking about. I definitely noticed that. But it's not like you can't have copyright. You need copyrights.
Exactly.
Just as a law in general.
And I understand that people on YouTube, not smaller channels like ourselves, smaller entities, I understand that larger channels have to be careful of copyright strikes and infringements. Music channels have to be careful. Media-based channels, production-based channels have to be extremely careful.
Of course. PewDiePie, in the past 5 years, I'm going to say, has become such a big icon in just about every source of media now, even though he started out on YouTube. And now he has to be extraordinarily careful on what he says, who he talks to. There's a lot more business side when it comes to someone who, about not even 7 years ago, was working on his own in his room making video games, or making videos on video games for fun.
Exactly. And, you know, now another thing is that, you know, kind of going off topic, you know, you go look at all the original high-class YouTubers, you know, the Oxcast, Captain Sparkles, Skydas Minecraft, a lot of the people who built their empire, their YouTube empire up off of Minecraft, either they disappeared or they're just gone, and those were the titans of YouTube. In essence, I mean, you can agree or disagree with it, but the evidence is there. Minecraft made YouTube in essence, but now that people are shifting away, Twitch is becoming more of the mainstream media, and YouTube is falling back. Because you look at Twitch and you start to think, well, Twitch has Fortnite streamers, and Twitch is starting to become more optimized. I think YouTube, within 5 to 10 years, is not gonna be as big as it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, it's probably the idea that internet media, like Netflix and YouTube, is such a growing concept, and it's just such a fast concept, that there has to be changes extraordinarily often. Like about 5 years ago, Minecraft was the top thing, and survival games were the most important thing. Now it's battle royale games like Fortnite and PUBG.
Oh, definitely.
And in another 2 or 3 years, those will start slipping away, and then we'll have some other internet fad, particularly gaming-wise, to look at.
Oh, definitely.
As popular as they are now, they're eventually going to lose their momentum and fall. But for now, everyone enjoys these games, everyone plays them, everyone watches videos on them. So for the time being, it is what it is.
Exactly, and it's an ever-changing medium. But, I mean, like I was trying to say before, you know, if you go back and look at it, all the old people, all the old streamers, the content creators, everyone who made YouTube what YouTube was initially 4 or 5 years ago, those are just people you don't see creating content anymore. Yogscast, they don't really perform as much as they used to. And I think before the podcast, I actually went and I started looking at different channels, you know, it's like, looking at their viewer base from how they used to be to how they are now, it's noticeable in the difference of the content and the difference of the people who watch the videos. Some content creators wised up and grew up with their demographic. Some people just keep rehashing the same material and never grow.
Yeah, have you ever like gone back to a YouTuber you stopped watching about 4 or 5 years ago, and looked back at their channel and been like, wow?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I did that with Yogscast. Mind you, you know, you think of Yogscast and you think of, you know, these are some childish, you know, some you would see, you know, kids watching. Not really, not anymore. Because, I mean, look at their Gmod videos. Their Gmod videos are, I mean, they're funny and weird, you know. And it's entirely a medium based on different people, you know. I mean, you can't have one channel to satisfy everybody, you know. I mean, Blade, I know you of all people who've been, for what, a year now, trying to build your channel. You have, I don't know how many different types of videos on separate topics.
Oh yeah, I'm out there with everything.
Oh, definitely.
That actually holds a new point. Going back to the fast-growing piece of the internet. The internet's still relatively new in terms of entertainment and industry, and that's easily shown. Actually, a YouTuber we've mentioned earlier, Captain Sparkles, has this theory because people tend to argue that his channel is dead and his sub count is extraordinarily, or his view to sub ratio is extraordinarily low, which it is. But he argues that.
I'm about to shut the pod.
I'm sorry. Let me try to put this into words. He argues that with the change in the variation of his content, the fact that now he's not as much of a Minecraft YouTuber as he once was, not as many people are held to his attention on his channel. Some people, now he still has a fairly respectable view count, but that's because he still makes content people like. He doesn't have a very high ratio because he's got so many different types of content on his channel now. He does Reddit reactions, trials, still Minecraft, and it's very noticeable in the videos that he shows.
I noticed Markiplier's been doing a lot different content recently. You know, it's these spring up games, you know, it's the indie media that's been building smaller YouTubers and growing larger ones, you know? I mean, you ask anyone 4 or 5 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, who was Markiplier, they just said, well, we don't know. You ask anyone around the time that Five Nights at Freddy's came out, who was Markiplier, he is the god of FNAF. And you know, they're, I mean, in essence, I don't think Markiplier would be that much different without FNAF, but I think not as many people would know about him without it. And there's such a variation.
It definitely comes to that idea that different types of entertainment can influence others.
Oh, definitely.
Video games influence YouTube to an extraordinary amount, even though they aren't necessarily supposed to intertwine the way they are.
Oh, exactly. And YouTube, I mean, essentially, YouTube wasn't a media based around entertainment and gaming. YouTube was meant as a media. It was intentionally social media, but it just changed over time. I mean.
Oh God, who turned on the ride?
Oh God. And I mean, it just became something of, it became such a community-developed game.
We can reopen the trading pods.
it became something made by the community for the people who support the community. But the death of YouTube is the algorithm and the demonetization of content. The people who have made a living supporting your website, you are now making them go broke because you do not support the type of content.
Oh yeah.
That was the last one.
And you know, you do that,
Indicated pod for
and you are
resupply.
digging your own grave. You are making them, and you're
My
putting their
advice?
livelihoods at risk.
Don't die again.
I've argued this before. I think anything bad that happens to YouTube or any sort of entertainment source on the internet, it comes with the fact that this is the change of an era. Not a lot of people see it, but I can almost bet that, say in 20 years, when you open up the history book, the very last page will include something about the change of era in the technological revolution that we're in right now. Everything's changing. This happened in the Industrial Revolution, in the Renaissance, time and time again in history. It looks like what the lives we lead now are changing for the worse, but in reality, we're changing for the better to further adjust
Running low
to
on ammo.
the type of world we live in today. This one, back about 60 years ago,
Hurry up.
60 to 100 years ago, we lived in a more industrial age. Now it's more of a technological one, so we're adjusting to it.
Oh, definitely. You know, and people will
Also, blame
argue,
everyone else.
and people will
Break time's
argue
over.
now that,
Get
you
back
know,
to work.
this
All Zeds
online
inbound.
media is going to be the death of our modern society, but I think it's the evolution of our modern society. You know, it's just that kind of thing you have to look into.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. So, you know, we're not sponsored. We're too small to be sponsored. But
Yeah.
you know, there's something I gotta point out. Shut up. So
I
there is.
sponsor myself.
So there is one thing I do want to point out. You know, I just bought a pair. I went online. I bought a pair of boots. It's kind of like loot balls. It's kind of like that, but they send specialty made comfort underwear. They're long lasting. They're high quality. You know, I love
Okay,
them.
this is what I think this is. Can I ask
If you want to,
why?
because you know someone recommended it to me and I had a voucher.
Oh, vouch, okay.
Hey, someone, I had a voucher. And
I mean,
used it.
hey, okay, since he's doing that, can I also plug a thing that I bought?
I mean, if you want to plug, go ahead. I'm telling you.
I mean, okay, so like we're like he said, we are not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. But if you guys are like really big into like e-cigarettes and vaping
You
and all
fool!
that,
You killed me.
into like
See, that's what
vaping and
happens. That's what happens when you vape blade.
sorry. But I actually went online and made a account with vapewild.com, and actually right now, if you guys go on there and make an account, you guys can get a free sampler if you put in the code WELCOME10. They will ship you out like a free sample of most of their popular like stuff and a mystery one. There's always going to be a mystery one, and there's going to be some of their like high top selling stuff. I bought Green Apple Envy, and it's actually really good. And you know that there's also other flavors they have. If you guys like other like custards, they have like a thing called King Cake. They have buttery nuts, which I haven't tried yet. I got that with my free thing, and it seems weird. It sounds disgusting, buttery nuts, but I'm gonna try it one of these days. So yeah.
Oh, another thing is
Sponsored
that.
by Pornhub, where you get all your buttery nuts.
Oh, okay. So I know. Okay, I know Blade was with me when I found this out. So April 1st, I went on Pornhub. It's Cornhub, not Cornhub. Pornhub. It was Pornhub.
Yeah, it was Hornhub. It was just a bunch of horns.
It was
Like
you know,
people playing
like,
horns. Like
the video on top was hot young horns.
Finally a
with
fetish for
clothes.
me.
You know, another thing is that, you know, IPs like, you know, like things like Pornhub, you know, that's one of the funniest things you ever come across. Because Pornhub doesn't care. Pornhub knows what Pornhub is.
Oh yeah.
you know, it takes balls to say. I mean, Pornhub will say, "Hey."
Oh, you bet it does. Pornhub has all of them.
Pornhub has plenty
You know,
of
Pornhub
balls.
is actually very deep. Pornhub, despite what it is.
Oh, it's deep. You're making this way too easy.
I know I am. You know, but despite Pornhub being what it is, it's such a joking thing, you know? I mean, Valentine's Day, they're free. April 1st, they make a joke of themselves, you know, it's... I mean, personally, I think I'd love to work for Pornhub. Really? You had nothing for that one.
Oh, you're gonna be working in Pornhub.
So, my
There we
guns went
go.
missing. My dual fucking
sets on the way.
500 Magnums went
Start
missing.
to wrap
That's
things
not
up, as
good.
they say.
Oh, Pornhub's got a gun. Okay, no.
Reloading.
You fucking better be.
Would
got
you
a
like
gun
my
for
Would you like my
you.
second dual? Would you like my second 9mm so that you have dual pistols?
No, I'm good. I
Okay.
found him. I found him.
So actually, I wanted to talk since we're playing this game on podcast for the first time. We're playing Killing Floor 2, which came out 2 years ago, I think. And the development team on this game's relatively small, especially when you compare it to Bethesda or Ubisoft. It's a very small development team. Content updates come out for this game 4 times a year, around every change of the season. But it's a very fun game. It's an extremely fun zombie survival game with PvP aspect that I've never really touched, an endless mode that's just recently been added, and many like events and game modes to keep you on your toes. Even when the normal survival that we're doing right now gets really boring. We're actually playing a Halloween map that came out last Halloween.
Last year. Yeah.
There's also a Christmas map that came out again this Christmas, and that's about it when it comes to seasonal maps. But this game comes out with new maps, new content, as often as it takes to keep you growing the game, and I really appreciate it. Anyone who does take Killing Floor, give the dev some love. This game is very good. It was free at some point on PlayStation, I think during the summer. So you'd have to buy it at a cheap price in the sale again if you wanted it picked up. But it's very fun.
You know, another
If you're
game
balling
that,
on budget.
another game that does remind me of Killing Floor that I know me and Blade played a shit ton. Definitely Payday 2. Despite, you know, how large the game is and how rare it gets to update. Whenever the updates come out, the updates will last you a good week or two.
Oh yeah.
And then, I mean, if you're new to the game, and it has something for everybody. I mean, in essence, it has a little bit of something for everyone. You never know what you might find.
Payday 2 is a very fun game. If you have 3 friends, which is extremely hard to find now, unfortunately, but pick up 3 friends and play some Payday or some Killing Floor, you'll have much fun. I think in essence, I just love co-op games the most.
Oh, yeah. There's just
Me and
something.
Theo, not long after, what game was it? A Way Out. Not about a day after A Way Out came out. Me and Theo beat it. You guys are playing through it on Blade's channel, right?
Actually, pretty soon we're gonna start a playthrough of it. Not episodic, but stream episodic.
Get to the indicated
So
pod for
look for
resupply.
that on the community channel.
And one thing I love
There.
about A Way Out, besides it's just a fantastic story, is the way they utilize co-op in such a great way. Co-op is so fun if you pick up a friend. And when it came to
Stock up on grenades.
A Way Out, I think what really sold it for me and Theo, who I played it with, was just the fact that we had such different ideas when we were playing the game as these 2 characters with different ideas. It just made the experience so much better. I highly recommend, if you were to pick up the game, play with someone who you tend to argue with a lot, straight up, like you have conversations with, because you'll have some hella conversations with that game. It's
Oh yeah.
very entertaining and really fun.
Like me and Undead, for instance. Like me and Undead, we argue how many
When
times
don't we
per day?
argue? When don't
Exactly.
we argue? You know, another thing about A Way Out is though, you know, I know Walker, I know you don't watch movies. Blade, I know you watch some movies. One of my favorite movies of all time, I think a movie everyone should see before they die, is a Shawshank
Check the
Redemption.
area.
I think if you watch The Shawshank Redemption and you remember the story from Payday, you know,
Be silent.
you just see the parallels, and it's not a
Definitely,
bad thing.
I know. I kept drawing conclusions between the first chapter in A Way Out and Shawshank.
Oh, no, you know, it's like you notice it once, and it's like you can't tell if it's an homage of love or just a blatant ripoff. But either way, it executes itself so well.
Well, I think the game's supposed to make itself appear as like a.
Dented their numbers.
It's supposed to give off that illusion that it kind of feels like a '70s movie or whenever
Yeah.
Shawshank came out. It really feels like one of those sorts of movies.
It does. I mean, you know, it does it well. Surprisingly. You know, I remember when the new Mad Max, the most recent Mad Max came out. I remember you went and saw it. You said you had good impressions of it.
Oh, I love that Mad Max movie. It made me watch the original Mad Max, which, by the way, is very different from the newer one. The original Mad Max actually isn't even post-apocalyptic. The only similarities it shares is the main character's Max. He likes cars, and he's mad. Oh, and it's in Australia. Those are the only similarities that those movies share.
You know,
But they're just
actually,
such good movies.
they really are. You know, someone asked me a while back, you know, why do you like Mad Max? Like, it's the same reason I like Fallout, you know? It's good storytelling, and it tells us what happens whenever we fail.
I can definitely agree. Not only does it like not slack out on the action, which is what I find a very strong lack of in other popular medieval or post-apocalyptic or sci-fi movies. It has plenty of action scenes, but what I love about it most is just like it mixes in with the action scenes with these controversial topics and this great storytelling at every turn.
I mean, you look at the appeal of Mad Max. It's like it's his game. It's his game. It's also a game, but it's a movie based around what happens whenever we're faced with this situation where we know we're gonna fail, but we're clinging and we're trying to succeed. You know, it's something. It's something to marvel at, really, in essence.
Definitely, Mad Max is definitely a perfect example on why video games are just a wonderful form of art. Video games and movies. If you were wondering why we keep referring to it as video game, there is a Mad Max video game that came out around the same time as the movie, and it is very good. Like, it is surprisingly very good.
Glad to see you made it through.
And personally, you know, looking back on the past couple years of all the content that we've played together, all the movies we've seen, and the amount of arguments we have, you know, it's whenever you find a group of people who have completely different play styles and completely different outlooks on games, you know, you start to realize, you know, the media as itself can bring the weirdest people together, you know.
like being chewed into pieces? Buy
Definitely.
armor.
Oh, I mean, look at us. I mean, we are the most mixed match group of people you can ever imagine. But I mean, we still hang around each other. For lack of a
we still don't hate each other as much.
What you talking about? We're fighting zombies in the food chain. We're perfectly normal.
Don't make me use this.
What is this exactly?
What's hitting me do? Oh!
Oh no.
Okay,
He has a sword.
so no one else is
Oh,
gonna get
fun.
that, you know, but what happened earlier was that we were playing Overwatch, and, you know, this prick
chance.
playing Hanzo
I have to power
shot
down
me
the
when I was
pod.
ulting as Genji. Next thing you know,
So basically, all you could hear was Hawaiiwa Shin.
All Zeds on the slope.
You know, another
Back
thing,
to it, mes amis.
It
know,
was
it's
the most anticlimactic thing. It was hilarious.
okay, so, you know, another thing that I think we never really touch on, especially in all of the podcasts, every single podcast we've done, I know one thing we never touched on was our personal feelings really on just about movies, you know? I mean, yeah, we do talk about movies sometimes, but we never really get into this.
I thought you were gonna like just stop at personal feelings. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to. I don't want
You
to
know,
talk about what I
you know, if
feel.
we get into that,
Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
you know, I don't think that's why we're here. You know, another thing is that, you know, you start getting into the movies. And I said, you know what movie I really enjoyed? Most people seem to have hated this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. You know, it's fucking,
You know, actually, ironically, me and my nieces, whenever I was, actually earlier today, I was hanging out with my sister and my niece, and we were having dinner together one night at their house. and my niece wanted me to run her over to the Kroger Redbox so we can go find a good movie. So
You
I
people
literally
in your
used like
Krogers.
I literally
have
used like
Wolverines.
$5 on my card just let's just go in like find a movie, and she comes back with not a movie but my card, and she's like, I kind of don't know what to choose. I'm just like, choose whatever, and then she was like, yeah, but you guys won't like what I wanted to choose. I'm just like, well, you know, fine. So I went in with her, and dear God, I've never realized how many movies one box could have in. Like, dear God, how many movies there are in life.
Oh, you should hear how many people tell me to watch this movie or that movie or like it's crazy. Out of three of us, I'm fairly confident I am the least movie adept. I go to watch movies like once every blue moon. I don't know, and I
once every
don't watch
fortnight.
movies that. Fortnite's too popular. Anyway,
Once every PUBG.
once every Paladin's Battle Royale. I'm sorry.
No, once every Smite Battle Royale.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
no.
that's gotta be. That sounds totally like something would happen.
Don't forget to invest.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
finally decided on we decided on a movie, and that's because I texted like my sister. We were like, hey, what should we get? And she decided on buying Unfriended, and it was like a horror movie or whatnot about
I know
people.
that was a
in
really
video
that
shitty
movie
movie.
Is that the Facebook
Yeah.
ghost?
Yeah, it was
and
Skype,
it
it
was
was Skype.
so crappy, and I
Oh, you
hated it.
disliked my selfies.
Like, I hated it so much.
And it's like, it's
I
one of
don't
the
mean to bash.
things, like,
I don't mean to bash any like artists or anything who are making movies and stuff.
I mean, okay, the thing
What
is,
exactly-
it's not a bad movie,
Very soon.
but it's not a great movie.
it's one of those things where
What
it's like,
exactly-
what the fuck were you thinking?
Exactly.
Yeah, what's
No,
going through
there
your
was
mind?
No, there was someone sitting in that boardroom, guys, teenagers, horror, Facebook, because that's still fucking relevant.
Hurry up. Zeds are getting closer.
It would have been just great if Mark Zuckerberg came out at the end of the movie. That was the twist at the end.
You know, another thing that,
Vault closed. Go make a difference.
oh god, okay,
Actually, if
guys.
I remember correctly, Mark Zuckerberg was actually in the movie. Well, it wasn't Mark Zuckerberg himself, but it was an actor playing as Mark Zuckerberg
Oh, I
in
wish.
the movie. Yeah, at the
You know,
very
one
end.
thing most people don't remember, and like, I can tell, I know neither of you remember this, Donald Trump was in the second Home Alone movie.
Yes, it was. That's the meme, dude.
Yeah.
As soon as he got elected, that started popping up everywhere.
No one I know
Yeah.
remembers that. No one I know remembers that President Trump was in the goddamn fucking movie.
I remember.
I don't. I remember watching CinemaSins episode on Home Alone 2, and Trump appears on screen, and they just give him 1,000 cents.
You know, I understand that he's a meme. I just don't understand why everyone fucking hates him.
I don't want to get political. Just
That's
the election's over.
Let's not
The
get
election-
political, please.
The election's over. I wanted to stay that way.
I'm good enough with that.
Also, by the way, guys, after this round we have a boss move.
Yeah, I know.
Alright.
Which I don't even know who the boss is going to be for this.
Neither do I. They came out with a. Oh, have you guys fought the new boss that came out?
No, we haven't.
Uh-huh.
No, dude, remember, like, this
There should be 2 bosses that you guys haven't fought yet, and they're both really cool.
is... Help. Oh god. Yeah, that's another...
Help.
You know, that's another thing about these games that, you know, I don't think they get enough attention for, is that the amount of content they just put out.
I'm dead. Help. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Ouch.
I tried.
You guys alright?
hard enough.
Are you guys alright? Hey, where's Blade?
I'm dead.
Not here.
I walked out to turn on the generators, and now there's this red smear on the floor?
You know, that
Yeah.
shit happens, man.
Dude, drugs. That's all you need to know.
You know,
Looks
another
like he
thing...
needs some.
It's like that Left 4 Dead meme where like the I forgot what his name was, but the guy was always like, "Bill's here," like he just said it like so intensely.
The only reason I play this character is because it's just the coach. I'm a coach.
Oh god.
You know, I actually had Left 4 Dead 2 on my Xbox before I had internet, so I played all of Left 4 Dead 2 on my own, and that was so boring.
So I found the big guy. He found my RPG. He found my RPG.
Oh yeah, there's another flashbound. Oh, and it's great. Oh, it's wonderful. It's a good thing I bought this SMG.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good thing I bought this RPG.
Oh, you do have an RPG. Yeah, forgive us guys, we're just taking a quick second to try not to suck.
Yeah. We're tryharding right now.
You know, we would one day, if we ever get a studio, if we ever ended up in studio, I would love to have a room where we could just record the podcast.
Taking down
LAN party.
comes naturally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah!
LAN party and podcast would be so amazing.
Anyone who ends up watching this and has been to a LAN party, please tell me. I've never been to a LAN party before.
I've been to a LAN party.
Been to one.
I want to go to a LAN party so freaking bad.
I've been to one LAN party.
What did you guys play whenever you went to LAN party?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, of course.
The first time was World of Warcraft, the second time was Rainbow Six Siege.
That's a hint, vous savez.
Yeah, my first one was Rainbow Six Siege.
Have you guys ever seen that picture of these, like, this big-ass group of guys?
Oh, and there's the
playing
one
away in a
hanging
LAN
from the
party?
ceiling?
Yes, duct taped to the ceiling.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy when I mention it. I spent 4 years looking for that picture.
No, I've seen it. It's hilarious. Yeah, it just came back out. Like, someone found that picture somewhere recently, and it's been blowing up on the internet. It's hilarious. I think
And it's like
great.
everyone's like, dude, we're not crazy. We knew this was the thing from the start.
There's this. My
It's like,
brother.
yeah, no, I
the
remember
dude's like so into the LAN party that he's like eating a pizza, playing a game, hanging from duct tape from the ceiling.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? Oh god. Oh.
Have you guys seen this box yet?
No.
Touchdown. No.
This is the King flashback. He came out with the Halloween update, very fitting for what map we're in, and he has Hyper Beam. He's learned Hyper Beam. Just so you know.
Hyper Beam.
Fuck.
Yes.
I learned RPG.
Oh yeah,
God,
he'll also
he's near
summon.
me. He's next to me. Please,
Okay,
someone
he'll
help.
summon. He'll also summon halfbacks, which are just really small flashbacks.
Nice.
Okay, yep.
Well,
This is not ending. This isn't ending well for us.
well, hit that guy.
Yeah, this was bad. Oh,
You know, it's not gonna end well for that Blade guy.
It's fine. We're on normal guys. Damn it.
Help, help, he's coming after me. He wants my booty hole.
So, you guys died a lot. You guys do know you can hold down square to heal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just check it.
The thing is, I did not have enough time to run away and go and heal and then not die.
Just heal whatever you can in this game, because heal regen's kind of like Estus in Dark Souls. So just heal. Like if you don't care about space, just heal. And thanks to our RPGs, by the way, RPGs are the most powerful gun in this game. Incredibly overpowered. Hate them, but I love them. Hyper Beam.
Yeah,
Careful. You're about to die.
Thank you. You know, if I die, at least I die helping you.
Yes. Hopefully I can be... I mean, I'd be very upset if I couldn't kill him myself.
Nice.
Nice.
Gunslinger level 3.
So when it comes to this game, there's different classes that affect your stats on your weapons. I'm playing SWAT at the moment, so my SMGs are all stronger. But you guys saw I leveled up in Demolitionist. That would be because I use the RPG, a Demolitionist weapon. Nothing stops you from using any weapon on any class, but some classes have better perks that go with others. Never choose Firebug, otherwise you're garbage.
I like it because I never choose Firebug, otherwise you're garbage.
I hate Firebug. It's so bad. Let's do Krampus's Lair. This is a map, you guys. I don't know if you guys have played yet.
No, I haven't.
I like the labs.
Love Krampus's Lair. Bioducks Labs is a fun one.
Alright, so we're 45 minutes into the stream. That's nice. You know, it's good enough to be 45 minutes in. You know, we're almost halfway there.
Whoa,
Definitely.
we're halfway there.
Whoa! Living in my mom's basement.
Hey, by the way, may I
Oh my
ask, so I'm signed into the Unknown Armor, community page.
Oh, yeah.
Why is in the recommended a bunch of Japanese stuff and Russian stuff?
The Russian shit I can explain. I can't explain anything else.
I'm dead.
What have you done?
I don't know.
I'm dead. I'm sending you a picture of this, just so you know that
Okay,
I'm not
hold on.
lying.
Okay,
But can you please explain?
Okay, I can explain some stuff. I can't explain everything. Mainly because the only thing. Wait a minute. Oh no. I think I may know what's going on. Oh no. This may be bad. Where's my phone at?
Where's? Hold up. I'm gonna go look at the history on the channel.
There shouldn't be anything on that channel history.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's used it. By the way, guys,
Okay.
anyone watching, Dad's currently streaming on YouTube on our conjoined kit channel, Unknown Armor. We're gonna try to upload as most often as we can on that channel specifically. We'll still have a lot of content on our own personal channels, but if you like all three of us, or you hate all three of us and you want to comment to make us feel like shit, go over there.
Go over there. Go over there. Just,
Go-
If you hate us,
over
just
there.
go
in
over
that
there
line.
and tell us how bad we are.
Tell me how much I suck at this game.
Please do. We know we suck. So, Walker, what are these Dash Vault unlocked cache?
Are they those loot boxes that you see in your inventory?
Yep.
Yes, those are loot boxes that you got from playing the game earlier. The way this game works is that there's in-game dosh, which is the money used to buy weapons and armor and ammo. And then after the game, depending on how well you did, what you did, what class you were playing, you will get more dosh for outside the game that goes into your dosh vault. Your vault will accumulate money, and after you've reached a certain threshold, you will get a reward crate for that amount of dosh, and it's exclusively cosmetics. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is all cosmetics.
Yeah.
But things for your character and your weapons, skins for your gun, or for your character, your gun. If you look at my character, I have a hat, and it's very nice. It's a hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing a mask and I'm wearing pajamas, which I got from Volt. It
Exactly.
just kind of matches me in real life because I just don't want to be known. I'm not doing a face reveal yet. Whenever I do a face reveal, though, this mask is coming off.
Oh yeah.
I'll do a face
Wait
reveal.
for that on my
Where's a
personal.
I'll do a face reveal. Where's a mask with a piece of crap on it?
Alright, so, by the way, once again, face reveal on the
Okay.
travel vlog June 1st.
Also, guys,
Yes,
look at my hat.
and that is going to be on my channel.
Guys, do you see my hat?
Your hat's amazing, Walker.
Thank
No,
you.
because we're in Z time.
Dio says it's taco. I agree.
It is taco.
Just, can you imagine if you went to Taco Bell and that was part of your uniform? Just a big ass hat. I would love Taco Bell. I don't eat Taco Bell, but I would just love it. Like, if that's how it works. Also, guys, there's a blade trap in that building. No, not that building. There's a blade trap. There's several of those on this map, so be careful.
Alright. Double. Is several
yeah,
my
along-
traps? More me traps.
They will kill you. You're not immune, Blade, because you're a blade.
Ah, I thought it would be.
Hate to break it to you.
I mean, I thought that, you know, I went to the Unity of Blades meeting and I thought that we had a full understanding, but apparently not. And also Rudolph is here. So bad for that guy.
Probably dead. Yeah, he's been mounted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krampus is getting ready for all the naughty boys and girls next year, because we're a bit late on to the party. Also, next area is over here, guys. That door's going to close in the next round. Going back to the out-of-game stuff in this game, there's also microtransactions. Hang them on a noose for it. Don't. It's again just for cosmetics. If you don't want it, you don't want it. There are microtransactions. I've never spent anything on this game, and I'm like almost maxed out on one of my classes. I really enjoy this game, despite its microtransactions. And I mean, give them a break. It's a very small, it's a very small number of people working on this game.
Oh, definitely. You know what?
That's kind of one thing. Yeah, that's kind of one thing that people don't understand when they see microtransactions. I mean, I get it in certain scenarios, like Ubisoft or Bethesda doing it. Definitely Rockstar. It really bugs me that Rockstar does it. But what people don't understand about microtransactions is games have become really expensive to make and maintain, because now every game requires multiplayer and online play, which means they all require servers, which means they all require upkeep. For anyone who doesn't know, it actually costs money on a monthly. It's like a monthly bill or something like that to upkeep on an online server. And for MMOs such as ESO, WoW. Terra is a new one that came out on PS4, yep. Those all require either monthly subscriptions or microtransactions to get the servers to stay going. So that's one thing that I don't think people understand when it comes to microtransactions. Sometimes it's really bad. I don't think Rockstar needs it as much as they put it in, but whatever. It is what it is. Hopefully Red Dead 2 doesn't have microtransactions in its online mode. We'll have to wait and see.
And another thing, going back to Fallout 4, having Bethesda, of all people, having microtransactions. Personally, and I know we've had this argument before. Personally, I do support the creation of that Bethesda implemented for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. What people don't understand is that these modders spend countless hours developing the content that they upload and release to a Nexus for free that is easily copyrighted and pirated. So they can profit off of it, no matter how little it is. People get to enjoy the content, also get to support the community. Which personally I think is one of the best things you can do, is support the community that allows you to do this.
Get to the indicated pod.
Now, there's definitely a reason. Yeah, there's definitely like necessary reason for microtransactions. And I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people, as an alternative, especially smaller developers that are like one-time people or making small games and they don't have a budget, use Patreon. And Patreon's a great way to avoid microtransactions while still making a salary on a video game that people are excited for.
You always have to remember that these are people who are putting time and time again, money, and all the efforts and resources they can get into creating this content. It's not their fault that these things have to happen.
Exactly.
There was a game I enjoyed really, really well recently. And I know you had gotten into it before me. It was the Shadow of Mordor and the Shadow series.
Battle is not over.
I love it. I need to get back into it, but I love it.
I really enjoyed the gameplay in Mordor. People didn't like it more as much when it came to gameplay. I can kind of agree. There is more stuff, but it's less refined. I did love the story in War up until the end, because apparently there's an ending and then a true ending, and apparently the true ending sucks. I don't know. I didn't get to that point. I'm going to live in ignorance when it comes to that, because I love the ending that I got after you fight Sauron. Spoilers. Spoilers, you fight the final boss. Anyway.
What?
I'm not going to say what the ending was, but to anyone who has played the game, you know what I mean. You're probably not enjoying my opinion, but I think it was actually really good. I would like to talk on it more, but I want to avoid spoilers.
And then, another recent game that was actually pretty well done, Far Cry 5.
Now, Far Cry 5, You can continue because I have a bit of a rant on this.
Alright, so the thing about it is that, earlier me and Blade were walking down the street. Next thing you know, we fucking ended up in the goddamn river, fucking fishing for 2.5 hours. And I was like, in the midst of killing cultists,
Lost the area.
in the midst of cultists, fighting them, we just started fishing.
There was no rhyme or reason for us to be fishing at that current moment.
We just found
we did.
fishing. Found some fishing poles, went fishing off the dock. Took a trip up and downstream, did some fishing trips, sold our fish, made some money. And it's like after that we just started hunting bears, and I was like, it's just like,
Fishing and hunting is just straight up fun in that game. I won't lie.
It's like the game itself builds depth, It builds more depth. It's not even a Tom Clancy game, and it feels like it could beat any other Tom Clancy game that's come out with a story and resource.
Well, okay, so what I do love so much about Far Cry 5 is the idea that this Far Cry 5 specifically goes back to a very simplistic style. It doesn't have the crafting ammo packs and crafting weapon holsters and crafting item packs like the old 3 and 4 did in Primal. It doesn't have that. It's just money. It doesn't even have an XP system anymore, which is debatable whether or not that's good or bad. But now to get skills, you use challenges.
Whether it has a system like that or not.
I suggest you
Because there
purchase
is a system relative to.
Well, I mean, what I find debatable is whether or not it's a good thing that they took it out, because I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I do like the simplicity it creates. Far Cry 5, what I love so much about it is that it makes the game so simple. What I think the issue was in 4 that a lot of people may not have liked was the fact that they tried to add so much stuff to it, and they try to make you do all these side things that you didn't want to do, and they still make you do side stuff in 5, but they're all relatively fun.
Enjoyable.
Yeah, it's simplistic and it's fun.
It's even in the beginning the guy says, oh, and if you think, no, I'm not gonna make you climb a bunch of towers.
Stay out of my path.
They poke fun at themselves. They poke fun at themselves. That's what they're doing.
They're like, we get it, you're sick of it. We're gonna give you a very simplistic game now.
They even joke about it.
It's your turn to enjoy the game, which I love so much about Far Cry 5. I actually beat Far Cry 5 last night. And I do have my issues with it. It's not a flawless game, by far. I still hold that Far Cry 3 is my favorite Far Cry game. A lot of people hold that idea, and for good reason. It's just a very great game, and it's really going to be hard for any Far Cry game to live up to it. Theo, our friend, calls Primal his favorite Far Cry game, and I can certainly enjoy that. Game. I love Primal.
Well, what's cool too is that Far Cry 3 was my very first Far Cry game, and I've only played Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. I did not play Primal. But
I played almost Primal. I haven't played 1 or 2, but yeah.
Yeah. With Far Cry 4, I understand the whole entire thing. It was so bad. But even Far Cry 3 had the whole entire thing where you had to climb, towers to get all that. And that's mostly what Far Cry 5 was poking fun at, and it was actually really funny.
Well, I think the issue in 4 was that there's so many of them, and they weren't even fun. You couldn't even enjoy doing them because that stupid bike helicopter they put in. You could actually just fly over them and do all. It was really stupid. And I'm really glad they took it out.
With the Far Cry 3, at least, you had fun climbing it. You had.
It was a bit of a hurdle in the way in Far Cry 3, and there weren't 500 of them like there are in 4.
Yeah.
It was a lot better in that scenario. But yeah. When it came to 4 and 3 and 5, we're gonna leave Primal out because Primal's kind of its own thing. I think Primal was a bit of an experimentation on Ubisoft's end to see where the series should go.
I think it worked too. I think they got what they wanted out of it.
I definitely think so. I mean, I think Primal is a very good game. If you were ever 50-50 about it, I'd recommend it, certainly.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to go out and buy it, but it's a fun game. It's a fun survival crafting game. And if you don't like that, this body armor right here, Undeader Blade, in case you don't want to buy it. What I don't like... I'm sorry, I lost my point. Oh yeah, if you don't like Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 5 is a simpler lead to that. It really doesn't have all that excess crafting and survival that Primal has. It's a lot more about being a soldier than it is a civilian. And that it's even put into that. Far Cry 5 is the first game in the series since 2, I think, where your character was a soldier or a police officer or someone with at least some sort of experience in fighting, you know, in dealing with illegal situations. You know, Jason Brody, AJ Gale, they're all like teenagers that get thrown into it, and they get a kill, and they're like, in the jungle, we survive. And I'm like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah, it's like you're just throwing all realism out the ass. And you know, you play video games to escape the realism, but they're also the games where it's like, you want it there because it helps build the world. It makes the game more relatable. You know, it just gives you that sense of power. It gives you the sense of enjoyability, quality of the game. But when a game...
Well, I think that was part of the experimentation in when they made Jason Brody in 3. Would it be good if the main character was a soldier or you know, someone new to the survival aspect to the shooting aspects?
You know, it's
and
like
I liked.
See, the thing about Far Cry 5 is the reason I like Far Cry 5 the most is because, you know, it gives you a little bit of both. You're a rookie, but you're still, you know, you still have the training, but you were a rookie. You know, like, how it is. I could use some help, dude.
Oh, Blade died?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was undead.
Nah, dude. It's
Oh
about to
my
be.
god, you're dead.
Yep.
Yeah, that is me. You know, another thing about Far Cry is that, you know, the name just resembles itself. It's a Far Cry from reality. It just resembles...
Exactly. That's one. So I actually just heard that recently, that the reason the game series is called Far Cry is that it's a far cry from home. Every Far Cry game has this really fucked up theme to it. 3 was insanity, 4 was drugs, I guess, and 5 is religion. Yeah. And what I love so much about the idea of Far Cry 5 is that one of the most fucked up things that's furthest cry from home is in the heart of America, right in our backyard.
Yeah, it's like,
and I love that idea.
You know, and it's like it also addresses a very real issue that there are organizations like this. It's like, you know, it's such a good game because it tells a story realistically, you know.
Right. Now, there's still issues with the game. Like, don't get me wrong. I said earlier, I don't think the game's perfect, and it's not by any means. Its themes and ideas that it starts with are amazing, and it's really great. But the issue I find in so many Far Cry games, this one especially, is the idea of the illusionism that's placed in the game. If anyone's played a Far Cry game, there are instances where you go on a drug trip or a spirit quest or something stupid where you're not in reality, but things are still affected in the real world. I never liked that. I really hated it. I didn't like how that's the final boss meeting in 3. I didn't like it. All the sections in 4. Actually, the second 4 were really cool and fun, but they were all optional, and I didn't. They were all like optional puzzles, and they were kind of fun. But in 5, they overused the living hell out of it. You know, there's one character in the game that you never meet in real life, like in the game's real life, and it bugs the crap out of me.
You know, it's like, it's stuff like that kind of gets to you. But when you get to looking at like the Tom Clancy games, you know, these are written by actual authors. Like, these games are written by actual authors working under the name Tom Clancy, which is a well-known publishment, you know. It's a book. It's based off of books. They're meant for these world building. You know, I've played The Division. I've played Ghost Recon. Personally, I did not feel the effect of the world building. For me, there was no world building whatsoever. It was just, hey, here's the world, but they don't go anywhere to develop it. There's no development in the world.
Well, the idea of the Tom Clancy games is to more or less simulate and fantasize what it is to be a soldier. When it comes to a Far Cry game, the idea is a bit different, and it's more of what it's like to be a civilian thrown into a military environment.
In essence, you're right. I do agree with you. And another thing is that with these games and how they progress, you start looking on it like, maybe this is what would happen, maybe this isn't, but it's a far cry from reality, and it's a far cry from what you'd expect.
The Winchester, if someone wants it.
Oh, I'm good. And the thing about the games is that the games are based in reality, but they're enjoyable. They're an enjoyable reality. That's why they're so good. It's an enjoyable reality that could never happen.
Reloading.
So, Tom Clancy games.
Last chance.
To me, the Far Cry series has stepped up from the flagship Tom Clancy games.
Just for the record, Far Cry was never a Tom Clancy game. They just have
on the scope.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying they stepped up from it. They beat up. I mean, they just surpassed and beat up the expectations that you would expect from Far Cry. I mean, they took the expectations from a Tom Clancy game and gave it to themselves and used that as the quality of their content. That is very admirable for the studio.
Okay, yeah, I can get what you get now.
Ubisoft doing something good for once? Oh my god.
I think Far Cry is the only IP they have that they can still rely on. I mean, they're holding on to Assassin's Creed by a very tight grip on a thread.
It's like Nintendo and their IPs. You make a joke about a certain race.
Well,
you make a joke about a certain
race
and plumber. They get so defensive. You see a little Japanese man running up in a business suit, I'm gonna sue the shit out of you.
Well, then Nintendo has a tight grip on their IPs for a completely different reason. They just don't want to turn into Ubisoft. Nintendo's extraordinarily protective of their IPs, while Far Cry just kind of wants to have them. As long as it's their IP, they're fine. But Nintendo keeps it in lock and key.
Oh yeah.
You can respect Nintendo for it, but it does get a little annoying.
And another thing that me and Blader realized while playing Far Cry 5, they were making jokes about, one of the guys working on Far Cry. It was like, I gotta make this movie, what should I go do? Back to making Far Cry? It was like, he made a joke about it. He joked about himself, and he joked about the career of the game. It's the fact that the game took it so seriously enough to develop the story, but not seriously enough to where they can make a joke about it. That's what made Far Cry Far Cry. It's what Fallout used to be. In essence, Far Cry has shown us, there's this situation that if we're ever faced with, we don't know how to react to it. That's the same thing Fallout did. And then it's just making itself a joke, but still trying to take itself seriously. And that's the joy of it. That's what makes it so good.
The issue I'm having with Tom Clancy games, especially now, is that Ubisoft's putting, like everything else, a lot more of an online stance on it, and it just doesn't do it. It doesn't do the series justice or the game title justice. You don't get as much reality out of a multiplayer game as you do with a single player game being a soldier. The Ghost Recon games were any Ghost Recon game that I've played, except for the one on Wii, was pretty fun.
And I like the one we're gonna record here soon. That one, it gave you this sense of hyper realism where you have to plan it out. There's no way you can just go and do it. You have to plan it out. You have to get your drone up there. You have to plan it out and make sure, all right, now here's how we're gonna execute the plan. Then someone's gonna go in there, cough Theo, Leroy Jenkins the damn thing, and you have to improvise from there.
Well, okay, I do like the idea of Wildlands. Wildlands was good because it put a strong point on playing with the team, like how operatives do it in teams. Everyone knows the example of SEAL Team 6. How exactly do they plan out entering buildings and entering buildings, taking down objectives? how do they deal with it? And Wildlands does a very good job of trying to simulate that. But as per my argument, it takes away some of the character in the games. If it's just, you know, how are we gonna take out this guy? Oh, well, we'll just rush him and, you know, hope the game works in our favor. That takes away from the experience of a Tom Clancy game.
You know, it's like,
I love the idea of the Splinter Cell games, because they're a lot more like realistic single-player stealth games. And I can only hope that they don't have like Rainbow Six Siege, Splinter Cell, multiplayer or something stupid, because that'll ruin Splinter Cell, which I really don't want.
You know, it's like, back earlier in one of me and Blade's playthroughs of, you know, Wildlands, you know, like, we were breaking into a house, and it was like, you know, I had Blade watching my back from a cliff, and I was going in. Me and Blade would coordinate what we had to do. We coordinated what we had to pick off, who was the biggest threat, you know, what the problem we were going to be facing, because it was something to enjoy. It was what we enjoyed. It was the planning aspect of it.
Watch my back.
We just enjoyed ourselves.
It may just come with it may just come with point of preference. People who really like the aspect of cooperating with your friend more so than the story of a game will definitely enjoy Wildlands more than someone who enjoys the story of the game more so than the multiplayer aspects.
Definitely, and you know, it's I personally commend the team. I personally commend the Tom Clancy and Ubisoft Montreal team for the great and excellent work they did on the quality of the game. And you know, that's just something you don't see that much in games now. You see these new studios popping up. You know, Bluehole's been around for a while, but you know, the quality of Bluehole's work, you know, they're not showing that, hey, we want to be here. You know, they're showing, hey, we're riding off the success of our projects that aren't, you know, completely optimized. You know, and I think PUBG could have been something a lot better than what it is now if the studio that developed it put in the effort to make it better. The Fortnite developers, Epic Games, all those guys, they're actually working to make the game better. Except, instead of, you know, sitting on their ass and relying on the cash flow from microtransactions to better the game, you know, they're
I can definitely see where you're getting at with that. Yeah, I was a bit worried when I saw that Bluehole was actually a part of, if not like the lead developer of Terra. Yeah, how are you gonna make an MMO when your current game is being like drained by Fortnite?
You know, another thing is like, I mean, this has been a big argument between all of us recently. Personally, I didn't care for Terra, but that's of my own volition. That's of how I am. You know, I just didn't care for Terra because Terra, mind you, I am perfectly fine with giving the game another chance. I'm perfectly fine with it. You know, even Blade said, you know, I didn't care for the tutorial. The tutorial, I can see how it.
Yeah, I know. The tutorial's bad, and as per most MMOs, I really didn't like the fact that you trusted off that. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but I definitely would never judge a game, especially an MMO, based on its tutorial.
Yeah.
Like, you have to base it off a level after that.
And that's another thing is that, you know, I would perfectly be fine with going back and playing it if I had a reason to go back and play it, you know?
Right. Yeah, I would say me, Theo, and Dragon are all playing right now.
So, you know,
but if I'm being entirely honest, even if you were to pick up the game and try to play with us, we'd already be a little bit ahead, and we kind of already know how that plays out. Coffee at the PSA. So, I mean, I get why going back to it would be a bit of a hassle, but it kind of just goes to show you should never judge a book less on its cover, more so by its first page. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, and I mean, even getting to the first page, you know, it was one of those things where it's like, you know, it was an acquired taste, you know, it's like wine, it's an acquired taste, you know, there's no one who's gonna like it right off the bat.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, I'm not a big MMO fan, so I started the game with a bit of a bias, and I'm still a bit biased towards the game. I don't think it's great or anything, but it's been holding my attention, which is more than I can say for a lot of MMOs.
You know, ESO, I think the aspect that
Warframe couldn't do it. ESO,
Okay, now
It
mind
did
you,
it for a fair amount.
I think in the defense of ESO, what killed ESO the most for us was the fact that it was, you know, it was the thing where it's like, the thing that killed ESO for us was we never stayed together, you know? I think if we went back, we stayed together, and we actually tried to enjoy ourselves, and like last time, I think we'd actually, you know, enjoy the game.
I think when it comes to an MMO, I'd enjoy it more with a different group of people. Same reason I can't stand Warframe. What other game is it? That might be it. But there's just like a thing about like any groups of friends I have that turns me away from an MMOs. Usually it comes with Theo and Dragon on that end when it comes to an MMO. Because they I don't know, they have this very strong idea on this is what we need to do, this is what we're going to do, we can't do anything else. And I'm like, well, I want to see what the fuck this person says, so give me 2 seconds. Meanwhile, I'll be playing with my friend Deontay and his group, and I can't freaking stand just like how fast they move through the game. This is particularly evident in Warframe for me, because it's really the only game I play with them. It was. And they just moved so fast, and it was so hard to understand what the hell was going on. I couldn't get into the game with them. And because Theo and Dragon was like, okay, this is what we need, this is what we need to do, this is what we're gonna do, and I'm like, I can't do anything, so.
You know, it's like when...
Out of a personal bias,
that's kind of why I hate playing with them.
You know, you know, if you look at it, like,
animals.
if it was us, if it's, like I said, if it's us, if it's the main streaming group, you know, like the 3 of us, I think we could work with each other's playstyle. But it's also, you know, with the varying playstyles that we share, it just invites a lot of new opportunity that we wouldn't have seen with the other group, you know? It's something
Well, that's the thing, like, all of us have different playstyles, every single one of us. You, me, Blade, Dragon, Theo, Deontay, Chris, we all have different playstyles, which is good for games like competitive games like Rainbow Six, Overwatch, just co-op games too. We were talking about A Way Out earlier. I still stick with that. I definitely, yeah, the different playstyles help immensely. But if you're playing an extremely serious game that requires cooperation and like pinpoints, you know, like we need to do this, then you need a group of friends that share your ideas, that all share your playstyle. I definitely feel like me and maybe Chris, I don't think Chris play that many, are the strongest stealth game players. I don't know, how much stealth games do you play, Blade?
I play stealth games pretty well. I mean, like the thing is, I'm not much of a stealth guy. I'll do stealth, but I'm kind of like a pseudo stealth type guy. Like, yeah, we'll stealth like the first like maybe half of it, and then whenever we have close to what we need to get, just go balls to the wall. Or if we could stealth the full thing, I would love to. You know, just like in Payday. You know,
yeah,
like in Payday.
And that's a perfectly acceptable. Like playstyle. My playstyle, however, is that I'll try to stealth as best I can. If I can't stealth it, well, that sucks. But if I can stealth it, I'm gonna stealth it. And that comes like Theo and is more particularly a strategy games kind of guy. So that comes with the mentality that you have to do things in the most efficient manner possible.
Yeah. Which
doesn't really strike me that much. You don't always need to do something in the most efficient manner. When it's something as, you know, mundane as, I don't know, killing slimes to grind for an item. You know?
Like going through a dungeon.
Yeah, going through an easy mission. It's not always the shortest route between A and B. It's more or less what you find there.
Exactly.
It's what I like. Like stealth game I've been playing quite often has been Hitman, and it's not because I don't play Hitman looking for the easiest way to kill my target. I look for the most creative and like most effective way. Maybe not the fastest and most, you know,
dazzling, but you know
the fast way to do it.
You find the fun.
Exactly.
You know, so that's the thing about
if I can get into an embassy and drop a moose on a guy's head, I can do that, but you know, that may be more difficult to do than say finding a key card to get into his house and then poisoning his drink.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily. Yeah, it's again different play styles, different ideas, it makes some games a lot more fun to play, but others just completely intolerable.
And the thing with us in MMOs is that you gotta think, you know, with how different of how we are in our different builds, you know, we might not coordinate our builds to effectively play the game together. You know, personally...
Exactly. That was a personal issue more with me when it came to ESO. I chose a Nightblade because I wanted to play a much more stealthy, you know, class, a much more DPS role, which I never do.
Yeah.
It ended up being less helpful because Theo had to pick up the role of tank and healer. You picked up a pseudo-tank role, and Dragon... I don't think he ever played with us.
No, he did not. It was me, you, and Theo. Another thing is that,
exactly, and that ended up, like, screwing us over. Because of our different ideas and thoughts, and we didn't really coordinate it properly.
You know, like I said, to be completely honest, if we ever went back, just the three of us, I think we'd be absolutely fine. Because
I'm not going back until I fix that fucking bank system.
Oh, definitely. You know, I mean, and if they ever do, I'll tell you. I mean, I will definitely tell you if they ever fix that fucking bank system.
Yeah.
But you know, I can guarantee you that of all things, I think just the class system that we can develop for ourselves would be better. You know, it's another reason that D&D is so popular. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you build it.
That's a game I'm adamant about playing with someone. Like that and a LAN party is like a life goal. Because I've never played D&D and I really want to. Especially with how popular it's getting all of a sudden.
Oh, dude, I can help you play D&D if you really want to play D&D.
Well, I don't have anyone to play D&D with, so...
Oh, there's an
So am I going to play with Deontay?
There's an online thing you can use. Like, there's a legit online...
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you want the real... Okay, you want the real deal.
Oh no, I can do it online.
Alright.
Like, as long as I get the experience of D&D. Because I really like the roleplay idea. And that's not really easily done. Even in Skyrim, it's kind of hard to roleplay exactly the way you want.
Look, as long as they're not in the park yelling "Zing through Belarkskvi," I think we're fine.
Firebolts! Firebolts! Firebolts!
You know, and like I said, you know, if we ever get like big into the production of our content, yeah, I think one thing we should do is, I think we should try and do D&D. You know, I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah, no, I'm fully up.
Yeah. That's something I think we like. You know? I mean, that's something that everyone can enjoy. You know, you have the type of person. I mean, you could play a stealth character. Like, anyone could play a stealth character.
Yeah.
Anyone could do anything in D&D. That's the thing.
So I've always thought about what character I'd make in a D&D world. Don't you have to roll your stats?
Oh, I do sometimes. You don't always have to, but you can.
See, I have no idea. Oh, I might die, guys.
Please don't.
Nope. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I got
shit.
cornered. There was like a Scrake and Screamers. So that's probably the end of us for this level.
Yeah. That's it.
Yep,
Blade.
yep. We're gone. We're gone. We're gone.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Question. Yeah, so when it comes to this map, it's a lot harder because the final stage that we're in right now is just kind of circling room. Very easy to get cornered. I ended up getting cornered in our starting spawn.
You know, Walker, I stopped you from being perfect.
What?
I stopped you from getting
Walker,
all
undead,
those
Walker, damn. Son of a bitch.
I stopped you from being perfect.
Alright, so this probably added to about an hour and a half. It's up to you guys. If we want to do another map, I recommend this one. It's really short.
Yeah, this will be the last one.
Fantastic. The Descent it is.
I want to try Power Core. You know what? I'm gonna put it to a gamble. Let's see what the
Oh, actually, no, Power Core works. Yeah, no, Power Core works.
Right.
It works pretty similarly to Descent.
Alright. You know, just leave it to the gamble. Leave it to the play of the tree and show them how the sausage gets made.
Well, Power Core's the newest map that came out. The very newest content update came out with Power Core, and the application of like you know those defend areas that we've been seeing. Came out with those.
Yeah.
Also, I completely forgot throughout that entire map I've had this stupid cowboy hat. And I apologize if it ever got in your guys' way. I'm imagining you guys are shooting, and you see my big hat on screen.
Nah, it's fine, bro.
Just lining up your shot, and then, hey, what you doing, guys?
You know,
That sounds fun.
something that no one ever realizes, the fucking memes of 2018. I think the biggest meme so far of 2018.
I think too many people realize it.
I think the biggest meme of this year so far has been BR chat, VR chat. Ooh.
Oh
Your
yeah.
chat. That's so cringy. I hate cringe. I can't like do cringy shit. It gives me cancer.
Mind
It
you,
causes me
like,
physical pain.
you know, I've gone through VR chat. You know, you could pity me. You know, I actually have to go through VR chat.
Like, have you guys ever been on? So I browse Reddit a lot, and there's this one Reddit called Fellow Kids, and oh my god, it kills me on the inside.
Hello, fellow kids. Would you like to go ride skateboards?
I saw some. You have to watch it and just hit your head against the wall for like 8 hours. It's so annoying, but it's great. I don't know. It's what's interesting about cringe. It's just it's terrible, but it's entertaining.
It's entertaining to torture yourself in this method. You know?
Like but it's so bad. Like I can't do it. Like I will sooner watch like I don't know. I'm not a horror movie guy, so I'll watch like any horror movie you put in front of me before like an hour-long session of watching Fellow Kids.
Oh god, it's so weird to hear you talk about this because like you're just not the person you'd expect this to come from too. It's so weird.
What, that I'd like get really cringed off of like
Yeah, it's like you know,
shit like that?
you know, it's like it's
No,
one thing to be
I
like,
get that.
you know, and I feel like every time I say something stupid, you know, I can hear you cringe, you know, it's like I can automatically make you cringe. And
You don't cringe me that bad. You do sometimes, but
I know
there's just
how
some
to.
games.
I know how to.
You do
I
know
can-
how.
I am the mattress man.
Mm-mm.
I can just like I heard.
Just
I heard.
just the
Nope, not gonna let it
Does
happen.
anyone have $100? Or not even $50?
Nope, I'm empty.
Oh shit, really?
Here you go, Walker. Here, take all my money. Take it all. Take it. Take it.
That's more than enough. Thank you.
I'm broke and all I have is a pistol. Time to
Here,
make
take
this
the rest of
work.
your money back.
No,
I just needed a katana.
shut up.
I needed a katana.
Shut up. I'm taking only my basic service pistol, and I'm gonna survive this round. Scotty,
Instantly dies.
Scotty, we need to give her all she's got, Scotty. You know, I'm just like looking at
Round
this.
just now starts dead. Well, bye.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Literally, I don't know
I'm
what
dead.
fucking machine
I'm
gun.
dead. Here's an Easter egg for you. Stand right here, Undead. Oh, you motherfucker!
I didn't notice. I'm so
Well.
sorry.
There goes that. You don't be sorry. I was about to do the exact same thing to you. Fuck. Anyway. You know one thing I have, like, really wanted to do that's been fantasized to me so much, but I just can't. Going back to a topic earlier about our varying playstyles. One thing that always, like, draws me to an MMO, until I end up hating it, is the idea of, like, going on raids and shit. And, like, fighting these massive bosses with, like,
I swear it sounded like you
skyrocketing
said
them.
raves.
Yeah, why
I
wouldn't
really-
Yeah, let's rave, man. Get the light, get the glow sticks.
Dude, like I'd be totally down with that. And stream count is 0. That's nice. Man.
Yours had one at some point?
Yeah, no, dude. The highest we've been is like 2 people.
Yeah.
Oh, I was waiting. Okay. Yeah.
And I think Blade was one of them.
I mean, to be fair, I have 2 and they're both me, I'm pretty sure. Because I was checking the audio on the computer, and now I have the comments open on my phone.
No, it updates after a while. Like it'll say, hey, these people stop watching.
So yeah, I know.
You know, one day, when we make it big, when we make it huge, we're gonna look back and be like, huh, everyone loves this podcast.
No, I look back at it like from videos 2 years ago. I'm like, God, we're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. You know, looking back to like the first Rooster Teeth podcast, dude, like, Jesus Christ, you know, that's their most viewed podcast.
Unless you hate living, get some
see. I need to get that.
You're the train of the sausage. I got a song from Hamilton the musical stuck in my head.
Hamilton.
What?
That's just really weird to have stuck in your head.
That's a really weird.
Take a heal.
Good.
But yeah, going back from the rave joke, that's something that's always been like really fantasized to me, and I really always want to do was like be like level 60 characters going in this like 2 million health boss and like doing like these cool strategies to try to get like this really visually appealing looking loot.
Oh
yeah,
God!
like remember
Walker, help! I jumped in the turbine.
Well,
I jumped in the turbine.
good job. Well, so you guys remember Undead, you remember when we were playing Borderlands and we killed the dual dragons in Tiny Tina's DLC, right?
Oh my God! Yep.
I still have this picture. All that loot we got. It's such a nice thing to look at. Every time we killed a Seraph Guardian and got a bunch of shit, it's just so good. Like, it's great.
Oh my God! I remember the hardest one there was the fucking thing in the was in the fucking Hunters DLC.
In Sir Hammerlock's big game. I forget his name.
Sir Hammerlock.
But yeah, no, the boss.
Oh.
Varacus the Invincible or something like that.
Yeah, Varacus.
But yeah, this is such an amazing thing to fight this giant boss that it looks like you shouldn't be able to kill at all, and then getting just all this really awesome loot, and like everyone's just like panting and like we finally fucking killed it. I don't know why. For a gamer, specifically for me, it's been very romanticized.
It's a euphoric feeling.
It's been a very romanticized concept for me, and I never get that far in any MMO I ever play because I either don't have the friends to play with, as we were talking about, none of our playstyles work, or I just start hating the game too quickly. For one reason or another, like I start disliking the game and I can't get that far. But there'll be a day when I find a game I really enjoy and I get that far.
There was one a while back I remember called Lazarus Online, and what really got Lazarus was what really made Lazarus so like popular was the fact that what it did, it was Lazarus had a system that would generate a weapon based off of the player's skill. But the thing about the weapon is that the weapon was unique to every character, and it would play off of the character's weakness. I mean, strength. Say you had like a really high attack speed, it would give you a higher DPS, but it would make your attack speed slow as shit. It was such a fun game,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I think romanticized concepts in video games. That's another thing, though. Actually, like, back in probably 30 years ago, the idea of the American dream was a romanticized concept of sitting at home watching movies with your family. Or there were two like versions of it. Being the one to watch the movies with a family and having a decent life, and one to be the movie star, be famous,
Yeah.
For the same reason a lot of people go try to play on YouTube. And there's a similarity to that in video games. There's being in an MMO, the communities in MMOs and multiplayer games. You motherfucker. I saw that. Well, I won't tell you about the scrake that's right behind you.
Oh God!
Anyway, but there's a line to draw similarities there. In video games, there are communities where, like the most fantasized idea of playing in that game, is being on the top of the leaderboard, being the #1 player, being someone that people message and ask for raid help.
Yeah. And another thing is that
It's a very similar concept, and I really like that idea.
It's something you see, but you never get to experience. It's
of course. It's
these
same reason.
It's these people who have the maxed out armor, top class. They're one-hitting everything in the area that's supposed to be difficult for their level, and they're not even paid to win.
It takes time and effort, and something you can't get to unless you really get into a game. A lot of people have really gotten into WoW in their time, and they end up, to some people, looking like the guy from South Park that plays WoW. Or just like someone who you always want in your raid party. A kind of famous person in that community. And it's a bit insane to think about, but it's a thing, and it's an idea you really want to get to. A lot of people play Ark for the mix of both that. A lot of people can make money off Ark, which I think is dumb, but whatever. But also because the top guilds are well known in Ark. They're very well known throughout the community.
It's the fame, you know. It's same thing with Fortnite. You know, people play Fortnite because they want to be known. They want to be popular.
Exactly. What's the name of that one guy? Ninja, I think his name is.
Ninja, yeah,
who
dude,
played with
Ninja.
Drake. Exactly.
Like, dude, Ninja.
Case in point.
Fix that
They
armor.
just,
It
you,
looks
Also, guys, look at my gun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was caught on fire. I couldn't really pay attention to your gun, but but nice gun, man. You know,
Thanks,
but
man.
that thing right there sucks.
Hold on.
all Zed's on the way.
Whoever activated it,
Wrap things up.
I hate them.
Ah!
you should know who
hurts a lot.
activated it.
I hate you, Undead.
Alright.
You should know it was me.
There's traps on every floor, just FYI, so be extremely careful.
I know.
They're almost all like turbines. I know you do.
Last chance. I have to power down.
There's also one thing I
That's all.
do for shits and giggles to piss everyone off.
Nice
You'll
stuff.
never know what it is.
Trophy is-
You'll
There'll be
never
a
know.
chainsaw in your skull.
You'll never know what it is until it's the worst inconvenience possible.
You motherfucker, you weld doors!
I was waiting for him to realize.
I'm gonna weld your asshole together, I swear to God!
I was waiting for him to realize what I was doing.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Inconvenient my ass, your cancer.
Oh no! Oh no! Whoever activated it, your mom big
Oh
gay.
Jesus! I should have welded that door shut. Why did I weld that door shut? That would have been a good door to weld shut.
Oh no! I welded it shut. Don't worry, it was welded shut.
See, Walker, it's oh god, I got what I deserved.
Oh
I got
my
I got
God.
my comeuppance.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna just keep going through these fucking enemies.
I'm just gonna weld every door I find.
You are the epitome of cancer in this game.
No, Walker. I am the mattress man.
stop it!
Get some
help.
help. And I was like, I like how it just became my own meme.
Oh, okay, cool.
Blade.
You saw that, right?
Yes, I did. But there's someone gotta send you after the stream.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand right here, and if I die, it's on you, Blade.
Wait, how is it on Blade?
Big guy didn't see that.
Because I welded the door shut.
Oh. I swear to God.
Glad to see you made it through.
Hey guys, I'm alive. Despite Walker's best
Go
hopes and
die
dreams.
again, please.
You know, despite Walker's hopes and dreams, I'm alive again.
Swear to God.
Oh God, we're in the core.
Hooray, core.
We're only halfway through.
Oh, you
Oh shit,
fucking.
no, never mind.
Unless you ain't.
I'd say there's no fucking way.
there.
Whoa, living on the prairie. Small house on the prairie.
Stop.
Get
You
some.
just ruined it.
Oh.
You should be ashamed
That's
of
a-
yourself for ruining
That is electrical fire.
electrical fire.
That's electric fire, yep.
That sounds pretty badass.
Sounds great.
It's also the name of my new band. Check them out on Spotify.
Fire burns.
You're welcome.
Ow! I just set myself on fire. Damn it.
That is electric fire. Nice.
Told you.
Oh my God. So I
I
guess
told you.
this is what the podcast has devolved into. Just us being dicks.
Pretty much.
Balls in.
I mean, we kind of run out of
Oh, you
topics, if I'm
suck.
being honest.
You know, at least we're having fun with it, and I hope anyone who watches it in the future or is presently watching is gonna have fun with it too.
I'm having fun. That's all that matters.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy. So now we're fighting each other and the Zed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still kind of mad at you, Walker.
Yeah? And what for?
You're the fucker who launched me off a cliff.
What? When was that? Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, you're the
No, I
son
had,
of
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you're the
I was a
SOB.
patsy for. I was a patsy to press the button. Now that being said, if I knew about it, I still totally would have done it.
You son of a bitch, you pushed me off a fucking cliff. Oh shit. Oh god.
Oh, it's in the electric fire.
Yeah, you're welcome. I activated that.
Oh god, guys. Maybe we should stop fighting each other and start fighting the Horde.
Oh really? When did you realize that one, champion?
Just recently.
Doesn't matter to me. I fucking love this thing. It's called the Eviscerator.
Okay, so another thing that I love about modern gaming.
Wait, where are we?
This.
Perfect. Pod is
You know, it's
Oh,
like,
that was weird.
Let's get
you know,
you restocked.
it's the fact that, you know, we can do this kind of shit, you know. Be a complete dick to your friends. It's just the funniest thing ever, you know.
I mean, yeah.
Trading controls and upgrade your gear.
Katana it is.
Never thought I would
Got that, boss.
I see it.
much.
I see a turned on turbine.
Was it me? Oh shit.
Swear to God, guys.
It's Blade. I swear to God, it's Blade.
Both of you.
stop that
No,
shit.
it's me.
You know, why do
It's
people
me.
keep...
I'm so not sorry.
Sorry,
I am.
January. So, you know, another thing that I love about doing the podcast, you know, is the fact that out of all the podcasts we've done, I think the one I've had the most fun with was the Lunatic
Last
podcast.
chance. I have to power down the pod.
That was
Is that the one where I was playing Steve
Oh,
Lucas, right?
you suck.
the Lunatic podcast was the were the last two ones we
Time's
did.
up. Go keep
Yeah. No, I really like those ones, yeah.
Yeah, no. See, things about the guys, we try and revive the podcast every now and then. We never stick to it, but you know, with the new community channel, you know, we're gonna try and stick to it better.
Mixes of our scheduling and,
Which we literally spent.
news on.
We spent the time developing the schedule for ourselves to work best for us and for you guys.
Taking mine up took literally a day for us to get a full day for us to develop the schedule.
And you know, so I guess it's time we take the last couple, maybe 30 minutes of the stream to talk about all the new content that's going to be coming to the channel, because we haven't really done that yet, and I think that's why we wanted to do this podcast.
Oh, actually, you know what I just realized comes with this map?
What?
If you'll notice, every bullet shot and every roar sounds like living cancer. There's a sound glitch in this map, and it comes around this point in the game where everything up until the boss is gonna sound like hell.
Oh yeah, I can hear it now.
Yeah, so just be prepared. That's not going away.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I completely forgot about it.
It sounds like me.
It's pretty terrible sounding.
It's the meme.
It sounds like the
It's the Horde. It's the holy
It's
shit.
the meme horde.
No, dude, if you just saw the...
Everything's just space boosted.
Oh my god. Alright, so, you know, a lot of the new content that you're going to be seeing on the channel is going to be altercating between my content, Blade's content, and Walker's content. Whereas we may be working together to produce some content, or we might be doing it by ourselves, you know. We're going to be linking our own individual channels to show you the content just so you can experience it for yourselves in different ways, bloopers, behind the scenes,
Oh, I'm dead.
different types of
What?
content.
How'd you die?
The memes were too much, Walker. The memes were too
Death by
much.
meme. God damn it.
He did not squat. He did not squat like Sliff.
Oh, when you say that, you mean there's probably a turbine with your blood in it, isn't it?
You know, but a lot of the things that you'll be seeing are going to be self-produced, self-made, and a lot of things made directly by us.
Mhm.
It goes straight for the flesh.
Yeah, that's just what we do.
I need you alive.
Yep.
And why do we do it? We don't know. Our parents are very
We love you
disappointed in
guys.
us.
Oh,
I
that
just want
works too.
fun.
Yeah, it becomes fun after a point.
Maybe I don't get enough social interaction in my life because I'm a fucking weeb. I don't talk to you, sure.
This looks like a fucking death trap waiting to happen right here.
Oh, I've had to fight the boss here before. It's not fun.
Wait, what wave are we on?
Boss
Seven.
time.
Oh, okay. So what,
See
we
where
don't
it
go,
says wave? Yeah, that's what
we
wave.
don't go any lower than this?
No. We'll keep going lower. Yeah, the floor is randomized.
Oh. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Shut the pod.
Yeah, it does the same thing on the descent. The floors will be randomized until the boss level. Does the boss level randomize? I don't remember.
But,
No.
Closed.
oh yeah, because this
Well,
one
I-
says 05.
In Descent it doesn't. I don't remember if it does in this map.
But you know, a lot of the content self-produced, self-edited, self-made. You know, a lot of it's gonna be random content. It might not always be the same. You know, thus is with change. You know, you might see different series from one of us. One of us might be doing recording Far Cry. One of us might be Skyrim. One of us might be, you know, an MMO. And I mean, it's never gonna be the same consistency every week. You know. And each of us
Most
have
of my content will probably be highlights coming from games I play with my friends, or playlists on or playthroughs on my channel. Mainly because I don't want to spam this channel with stuff that you can already find online. The highlights and stuff would be nice. Experimenting's all part of it.
It just comes with the territory.
You know what else is part of the game? Oh, that wonderful sound.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hope it's not
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
The sausage gets
I really hope
made.
it's not fucking with the set with the recordings.
I know it sounds super great through my headphones.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
no,
no.
it's wonderful.
I feel bad for anyone in stream who has to fucking listen to this.
Yeah, I wish I remembered this. Otherwise, I totally would have gotten sense. Oh, someone's about to die.
Yep, it's
It was
undead.
me. It was
Oh,
me.
you blew yourself up at least.
Yeah. God is great. You know, is it racist to say that sounds better in Arabic?
Sure.
Damn.
Let's go with yes, and let's go with yes, just to make sure we know you're racist.
Hey, there's my gun on the ground. Huh. Looks a lot
What?
smaller.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Ah. Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna
good.
die at last three.
Such
Spiders.
luck.
Do you guys like want some money to buy like enter weapons or something? Because mine's fine.
Nah, man.
I'm good with mine.
I'm literally
rich.
just having the worst luck possible.
It's all about the game gets a lot easier once you start getting like late game works. The Berserker is terrible until you get him to level 5. Then he's usable. The reason I say that is because he gets a perk that regens you every time you do a melee attack. And with a weapon like the Eviscerator in my hand, I don't die. Except when someone turns on a Tesla arc on me. So now that I'm buying more armor,
I don't know what the sad part is, the fact that he didn't expect it, or...
Or the fact that both me and Undead both have the same idea.
It was just... It was just the ultimate fuck you.
Both me and Dan have the same idea. I looked at him going to the other control panel on the other side. I went to this one. I was
just
just
nodding
like,
at each other, just. What?
You guys see what I have
That
to deal
was
with?
great.
Go ahead.
I'm talking to the people. They see what I have to deal with.
Yes, they do.
Because these two motherfuckers sure as hell don't.
They don't pity you, asshole. Oh my god. Yeah, but like I said, like I said, what really became a good thing about the online gaming media is the fact that we were able to be here and do this, And if you guys want to find the links to our individual channels or how to contact us, like our Discord or media, all you'll always find that in the descriptions of our videos. Or you can find a way to get it from one of us, one of our moderators.
I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitch. We're always on YouTube. We have a Discord. That's pretty much it.
And the Discord is personally overseen by us. The people who run the Discord being myself and the other two fuckers who are in party with me right now. We personally run the Discord. It's something that, we do. It's not someone we...
Guys, I'm dead.
Oh god. Not good. Oh, what happened, Mr. I Can't Die?
Well, see, my friends put a trap on me.
It's very true.
We played a trap card. And he was not prepared for our trap card.
Hello, welcome to the stream, which is the podcast. You're probably going to leave in 5 seconds. If not, leave a comment. You're not going to leave a comment.
Oh shit, I left the page on. Whoops, time to leave.
Oh god, that's depressing. Is that actually you?
No. God damn, just leave that massive ass thing lying on the ground next to my fucking corpse.
Wait, Blade, kite him to me, kite him to me. I have an idea.
Go,
I have an idea. It didn't work.
No, I didn't give a shit.
He did not care one bit.
Put us around, guys. We're all judging you.
Oh god.
God dang, dude. Oh, my finger hurts.
Undead, is that your only primary weapon? Hey, nice job.
What?
Oh god.
Undead?
No, I have
Undead's using a winch.
I have my dual magnums somewhere.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, it's just a Winchester.
Oh no, I don't have my dual magnums. They're nowhere.
Oh dear
Oh,
god.
that's right. Last wave until boss. So.
I suggest you purchase armor.
No, I do have my dual magnums. They just weren't loaded.
Good. Let's see.
Alright. Fire trap.
Make your choices.
We have about 10 more minutes to kill until the game's over. So, with the last topic on the podcast, one thing that really bugs the hell out of me, especially with our group, is the fact that, I think it's particularly me, shares zero, like, fanhood or fandom with any of you motherfuckers.
Bullshit.
Yeah, what game are you and I both diehard fans of?
Let me go check my carousel once we're done with the stream.
That's what I thought. See, the issue coming with... I don't know anyone.
Okay, not Far Cry. but some Tom Clancy games. I know you and I share a lot.
I'm not a diehard fan of Tom Clancy games. I like them, and I'll definitely play them. But I'm not like, I don't fanboy the same way I do every other game.
Far Cry. I know you're deep into Far Cry, and I'm trying to get into it because I'm starting to really.
Yeah, but you're trying to get into it. I don't call you a fan either, because it's only played 2 games. Like, same reason, like, I know, I studied a good bit about, what is it? Dead Rising. After I played Dead Rising 2. I don't call myself a fan. I only played, like, 3 of the, 7 games.
I thought there were like 4.
No, there's a lot.
I hate whoever locked me in here. Whichever one of you bastards locked me in this section of the map, you're a fucking jackass.
But yeah, no, there's like 4 main series games, and then like 5, like, I don't know, a good bit of off, like, games. That,
you know,
for the most part, still
Jack
count as
Holster?
canon.
Sup, man? I'm dead. Tis me, I'm dead.
Undergut. Go. I only have 20 health. Undergut, I'm healing. No.
Unfortunate.
Sup, Jack Webster?
I don't have
I accidentally
any
butchered your name, dude. So sorry.
help.
Yeah, you guys are just joining in right to see the closing of the podcast.
We still got about, probably 10 minutes left until we close this up.
5-10 minutes until
Jesus
Careful, Blade.
Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Kiting.
I'm running.
I don't know if I can get to you in time.
Help.
Should I have to reload?
I'm healing,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
dead.
sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, no, he's dead.
Trying to heal.
It was just a Scrake on you that whole time. I could not get him.
Walker, just like the amount of people in the stream, there's one Zed left.
Yay. Okay, anyway.
Hey Walker, just like the amount of people in the stream, there's no one left. You think that's depressing? Shit, you think
But,
that's depressing?
yeah,
should
you
see my
guys
subscriber
name me,
count.
like, I don't know, do you guys share any games you, like, both, oh, I just sold your 500s, whoops.
I know me
Here.
and Blade are Payday fans. I know me and Blade are fucking die-hard Payday fans.
Here,
Oh, yeah.
I'm dead. Let me give you some cash to rebuy your 500s. Boss round, by the way.
Okay, dog.
So, yeah, like, I think of myself as a big Legend of Zelda fan, and, what else am I a big fan of? I don't know.
I don't know what I
That's
like.
funny. Pretty much. But there's very few games that, like, I've really gotten into that any of you guys have. And it, bugs the
I
shit
mean,
out of me.
I like Legend of Zelda.
I'm not a die-hard fan, but I'd play a game or two.
Yeah, but I'm so
Yeah.
stupid. I have a Switch next to me just for Breath of the Wild. Hey, the other new boss.
Abomination? Dear God.
Hey Blade, it's you!
Hey, you guys want to face reveal? There you go.
It's my hopes and dreams. Kill it.
I remember that was one of your words.
Oh yeah, my hopes and dreams. Also my dick size.
Yeah.
And it was a super tiny one.
My hopes and
Wow,
dreams
this
are
thing
super
shreds armor.
tiny. Yeah, it
No,
does.
it was my dick size. That was super tiny.
Wow, Walker, wow.
Yeah, this guy is not having a fun day.
I'm gonna be dead by the end of this.
Oh, well, he's coming after me now, so don't worry.
I'm coming.
I fucking called it.
Oh shit, that hurt a lot. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he stopped attacking me. We got this, Blade.
You can do it. I'm
Oh,
dead.
actually, no, he's straight up dead.
Yeah, he's done.
Wow, that was
Nice.
a big ass XP boost.
Fuck yeah, it was. It was so much XP it brought my demolitionist up. My demolitionist.
Yeah, my Berserker almost leveled up twice this game. Hey, an RPG.
Hey, my RPG. Stop trying to sell my RPG, you dick.
I want to cut it in half, see what's inside.
See, Walker, I stopped you from being perfect again, and so did
Stop
Blade.
assisting me.
Same.
Stop assisting me.
And Blade, stop getting the boss kills.
I'm sorry.
That was fun though. But I think that's probably where we're gonna wrap up the stream.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually where we're gonna wrap her up. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight.
Things get a little interesting.
Hope everyone has a great night. Join us tomorrow night for our next stream. We have no clue what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something great. As
Someone's
always-
streaming. Something's streaming. They're streaming something. If you really enjoyed what we're doing, we're gonna start making videos more often on the Unknown Armor channel.
And as always, guys, thanks for everything you're doing. So, we'll see you guys in the future. Oh, wait.